Bianca, do you want me sitting down and waiting till President Parker or Dr. Coleman Farrell? Okay. If I'm the only one, it's perfect. Make sure I'm left. Good morning. How you doing? Looking sharp as always, my man.
Testing 1, 2. Some do. Some do.
at the Palm Beach Gardens campus of Palm Beach State College. We are so delighted to have you here this morning, and we're excited to be the host and sponsor for the Business Before Hours annual Mayor's Breakfast this morning. Yes. We are live streaming from our state-of-the-art Bioscience Conference Center here at the Palm Beach Gardens campus, and we are honored to have all of the North County mayors and our fabulous chamber here today, and we look forward to hearing what is happening in each and every municipality. So this morning, without further ado, I am delighted to bring forth our college president, Ms. Ava Parker, on campus with us today. And I would like to invite her up to the podium to share some opening remarks with you all this morning. President Parker.
Good morning. You guys can say good morning back. It's okay. I know it's been a while since we've been together in person, so you forgot that part, but generally that's what we do. And it's certainly a pleasure to see you in person. That is that, I've seen many of you on Zoom calls, and that certainly has been a nice way to stay in touch during the pandemic. But it's nothing like actually seeing your eyes. Can't see your smile, but I can see you smiling with your eyes. And I can say I'm just so happy to have you here at Palm Beach State College on our Palm Beach Gardens campus. As I listen to Dr. Coleman Farrell, I have to tell you that one of the best things I've done since I've been president is to have an opportunity to appoint her as the leader of this campus. Her energy, her innovation, her commitment to student excellence, and her understanding of the commitment that we have to our community is unparalleled. So if you have not had an opportunity to spend time with her personally, please, let's make sure that you do, because we think that it's part of our responsibility as your public college to ensure that we're providing the support that you need to ensure that your residents flourish. I'm sure that if I asked and had an opportunity to talk to each of you individually, either you, like my dear friend George Gentile, is a graduate of Palm Beach Junior College, or it is that your family member, your kids, or your nieces and nephews, or someone in your family or your business has had an opportunity to interact with Palm Beach State. And I'd say to you that I'd hope that that interaction was very positive. But what I want you to know as leaders of your municipalities, something that I think is very important as we begin to think post-pandemic, is that Palm Beach State College is your partner. That is that as you think about how the businesses in your community have been impacted, as you think about the residents in your communities that have lost their jobs, and while I understand that for us, particularly as leaders of municipalities, you have some parts of your community that are perfect. That is that they weren't really impacted. Their jobs transitioned to working remotely, and they were able to continue to have the quality of life that they've always enjoyed. But if you have residents in your community who happen to be hourly wage earners, or residents who happen to work in the hospitality industry, then it is very likely that they lost their job during the pandemic, because if you listen to all the reports, so many of our restaurants, so many of our small hotels, so many of our mom and pop businesses, they've had to close. And so what I'd say to you is that I want you to see Palm Beach State College as your partner before, but we're even better, because I'm sure if you went to school here at this particular campus, you probably thought more that you were getting your AA to transfer to a baccalaureate program somewhere, and we still do that. But in addition to that, we do that short-term training that's going to make a difference for Palm Beach County. So thank you so much for giving us an opportunity to be your sponsor today, Noel. It was so important for me to come and have this serious conversation with you, because we are so serious about our responsibility to move this economy forward, and know if there's anything that we can do, if there's any way that we can help you, anything that we can do, whether it's on campus.
Membership Development, Brittany Cartwright, will be hosting a virtual networking event for everyone watching on home. So make sure to click on the link in the comment box, and you'll be able to join that conversation. Events like today would not be possible without our community partners. And today's two presenting sponsors are Palm Beach Gardens Medical Center and 2GHO. Please turn your attention to the screen to hear a message from Palm Beach Gardens Medical Center.
and I live in Palm Springs, Florida. I was at home by myself, and I felt a sharp pain go throughout my entire body. I even felt it in my gums. But I knew that when I felt the pulsing and it went through my gums, that this was something unusual. I originally drove myself to a different hospital, but that hospital was not capable of providing me the surgery because they didn't have the surgeons on staff capable of performing this particular procedure. So it was critical that I get moved immediately to Palm Beach Gardens Medical Center.
So the diagnosis of type A aortic dissection is made both clinically and radiographically. Burke had the subsequent imaging study, which was a CAT scan, and the CT scan clearly showed that he had a tear in the beginning parts of his aorta, which we would label a type A aortic dissection. The surgery lasted about 10 hours from start to the absolute finish, and then we woke him up and got the breathing tube out on his birthday the next day.
From the time I met with Dr. Patel before surgery, I never felt like I was in danger or that I had something to worry about. I felt like it was under control, that as long as I did my part, that it was all going to work out in the end. It was sort of like a new beginning because it was going to be a new version of myself either way, you know. And so for me, it was sort of the beginning of a new step in life. And it was appropriate that it would be on my 45th birthday. The staff that worked here liked working here. And so I think that plays a part in everybody's care that comes after.
We have a great staff at 2GHO. We're excited to be a partner with the Chamber. We've been a partner with the Chamber as long as I can remember. I won't tell you how long that is because then you'll know how old I am. Again, we appreciate the opportunity. We're so excited to sponsor this event. We are so excited to hear what the mayors have been doing, and we look forward to working with the Chamber in years to come. So thank you very much. Well, thank you.
Thank you, George. We appreciate all you do for our organization. You guys are so supportive. Thank you so much. Next, we'd like to thank today's corporate sponsors. Today's corporate sponsors are the Florida Power and Light, the Palm Beach Kennel Club, Palm Beach Post, and Intelligent Office. We can't thank you enough for your year-round support of our organization. We also want to thank the team at Lesser, Landy, and Smith for being today's official coffee sponsor. And thanks to our friends at Oceana Coffee for providing the much-needed coffee this morning. Our annual Mayor's Breakfast is special because it provides a chance for you to hear directly from our mayors about the plans and projects for each municipality. Today we have 10 of our Palm Beach North municipalities represented by mayors and other elected officials this morning. Our working relationships with the mayors in our region, all the way from Tequesta to Riviera Beach, have been instrumental in not only the success of our chamber, but the success and growth of our region. Now, I'm honored to introduce to you our first mayor from the town of Juno Beach, Mayor Jason Hasselcorn.
Thank you and good morning. What a difference a year makes. I know we had this breakfast a year ago, and it felt like there was so much positive to look forward to in every one of our municipalities, and I don't think that's changed. We've got our challenges, but I don't think that's changed at all. I will say as a mayor, as an elected official, and I speak not only for myself, but our entire town council, we couldn't do what we do, and we certainly couldn't do it as well as we do if it weren't for our town staff, which is led by our town manager, Joe Labello, who's in the back of the audience here today, and I want to say thank you to him personally and also for the whole team on our town staff. We've got a wonderful event here, and it's an opportunity to share a lot of the positives in our municipalities. First, I'd like to talk about the Loggerhead Marine Life Center in Juno Beach. It's been under construction. They are still in the process of expanding their campus after raising about $16 million through the Waves of Progress campaign. It's obviously been a success. They're looking at hopefully opening in early 2021. They're going to But what's not going to change is that sense of community that we have in the town of Juno Beach, and making that, adapting that backyard space to make it more conducive for our residents is one of those things that even in these challenging times, you've got to look up from the immediate, what's right in front of us, and really look forward to what can enhance the quality of life for our residents 5, 10, 15, and more years down the road. Another big item that we're looking forward to is, and we want to say thank you to the Palm Beach County Environmental Resource Management. The beach renourishment is something that's now been talked about for several years, but what an undertaking in terms of funding, in terms of managing a project like that, and keeping in mind this is not just our residents and our people. It's there's safety issues, there's the habitat, and then of course the funding challenges. So to be able to fund that with tourist development tax, ad valorem funds, grants from the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, hurricane impact funding, and FEMA, really it's, while a bit overdue, and we've held up I think reasonably well, to have what's going to be a 10-week project and 1 million cubic yards of sand and at a cost of $10 million, really is something that for the town of Juno Beach, we're looking forward to that. Over the last few months, I also want to say thank you to our town staff. The small business owners in the town of Juno Beach are such a big part of our community. Our staff was right out front doing everything they could to really help them in these challenging times, whether it was relaxing permit requirements or trying to give them ideas, anything they could do to really enhance their business and just, for some of them, just keep them afloat. And just help them be able to get through. Our local businesses have received over $434,000 of relief under the Coronavirus Aid, Relief and Economic Security Act, the CARES Act. So really thank you, and my time's up, but thank you for listening to what's going on in Juno Beach.
Thank you, Mayor Hasselkorn. Really appreciate it. Next up, from the town of Jupiter, we have Mr. Todd Wodroska.
Hey, good morning, everybody. You know, they talk about how 2020 has been so difficult and challenging, but I think it's really just been a walk in the park. If it was Jurassic Park. You know, despite this pandemic, everybody's been dealing with the same things. But in Jupiter, you know, we've tried to help some businesses. This is a chamber event. We've tried to help some businesses by having staff work with some work with some road closures, some pop-up tents, having some alternatives for delivery. And that's been a challenge, but we've tried to work through it. In Jupiter, we waived water bills for a couple of months, and we also just recently waived this year's business licenses to try to help out the businesses. Even though it might be a small amount, we did go through that exercise and trying to help any way we can. In Jupiter, it's been relatively quiet on the development front, but at Town Hall, if anybody goes by, we actually have been going strong on our construction project for our new police headquarters and our data center. So if you haven't been there, the next time you go to Jupiter Town Hall, you'll see right smack dab in the middle of our Town Hall complex a new 39,000 square foot facility that's going to serve as our new police headquarters. And we're probably going to have the virtual ribbon cutting sometime in the next week or so. It was about a $20 million project. I took a tour of the facility just last week, and it is spectacular. And it's going to serve as our emergency operations center, which we really didn't have much of one, and we certainly didn't have a hardened facility within the town. And this will give us this will give us that security blanket when the storms come brewing. We've had a few near misses in the recent past. It's funny, you look back a year ago, you look back and you say, I reported to this group that the Love Street project restaurants were going to be opening in March of 2020. And I remember talking to the project manager right before March of 2020, and he was lamenting that, that the general contractors were kind of dragging their feet and they weren't going to be able to meet their target deadline. And then all of a sudden this pandemic hit, and I reached out to him just recently, and the 2 Love Street project restaurants are going to now open in mid-December. The names are not public yet, so there's a bunch of rumors swirling around about what the names of those restaurants will be. But from the water side, they're coming along nicely and they look pretty spectacular. So coming out of the pandemic, there will be some new restaurant options probably by the end of this year. Other projects going on in Jupiter. Brightline is going hot and heavy throughout Jupiter. Anybody that's driven around knows that they just recently closed down Indiantown Road for about 10 days to redo the crossing right there. And the next big project in Jupiter is going to be the replacement of the railroad bridge. And they're gearing up and have all the cranes and all the things getting ready in place to fully replace the railroad bridge and the bascule going on over in that area. So that'll be hopefully, while Brightline certainly garners a lot of attention and opinions, hopefully the big result of that construction project is the ability to have quiet zones to cut down on some noise pollution that we have through town. We have 6 crossings within the town of Jupiter. And then speaking of traffic delays and things of that nature, it was recently reported that the US 1 bridge project, it's going to be a complete replacement of the US 1 bridge, and that project has been pushed out a year, and that the full closure is going to be sometime beginning in 2023. So there'll be some sort of delay starting in 2021, but a full closure starts in 2023, which is a little bit beyond what they were thinking. So that's about it for my time. That's what's going on in the town of Jupiter. Thanks to Noel and his crew for hosting us, and everybody be safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Todd. Next up, we have who's always our best dressed mayor, Mayor Dan Comerford from the town of Jupiter Inlet Colony.
I've been asked to hold the mic, an extra duty, but not beyond my capabilities. And thanks for the compliment on my jacket and my tie and my custom-made shirt. Thank you. And my wonderful shoes. I'm just using up a little time because my speech is 1 minute as usual. Okay, thank you and good morning. Well, it's been a unique and challenging year for all of us, but maybe less so for some. I've been telling you year after year that Jupiter Inlet Colony is unique, and I would emphasize that that's true this year as well. And why is that? Well, we have a very small population. We have virtually no crime, and because we have no commercial enterprise in town, no businesses, we have no homelessness or affordable housing issues. We have a robust tax base, and we have a strong mayor, which you've heard me say many times, with no term limits. So I can do a lot of things on my own without checking in with my commission. Okay, and all of these things have served us very well during the COVID-19 pandemic. Our town hall and building department services were never interrupted, never shut down. We hosted a parade for our graduating seniors, both from college and high school in June. We're planning a Halloween event so that kids feel some sense of normalcy. Masks and other safety protocols were put in place very early on and remain in place. I'm proud to say that no staff or police ever contracted the virus, and only 5 residents tested positive, and 2 contracted the virus out of the United States and 1 out of Florida, and all had mild cases and recovered totally. So that's my report. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Dan. And that is a killer shirt and killer jacket. You got it right. Shoes look great too. I know you can't see them at home, but next up, from the town of Mangonia Park, we have Vice Mayor Sarita Johnson.
Good morning, everyone. And good morning, Todd. Noel, I want to thank you all for the opportunity to share with you the delightful menu from Mangonia Park. As most of you know, I always share with you that Mangonia Park is the meat between the bread. If you don't know where we are, we're sandwiched between Riviera Beach and West Palm Beach. 1 mile square, so we're a chunk of meat. But I want to tell you that our diet has changed a little bit. Of course, that's because of our dear, delightful friend, COVID-19. But it has prompted us forward to make some significant and aggressive changes. First, I'm going to share with you the notes that our town manager provided for me to share. Then I'll give you the COVID updates. All right. Like most municipalities, the town is recovering from the shock of the COVID-19 pandemic. This has made the budget season quite interesting, but we're looking forward to a productive year. We've continued through the ambitious master planning process, even though the public participation has been challenged in the recent months. There are 14 development projects currently on our table, some small and some large, and the town works diligently with those developers and planners to maximize benefits for the residential community. We continue great efforts to bring a 162 town home project, even through all the large projects they bring growing pains from the surrounding neighborhoods and longtime residents. We are continuing our efforts to better participations in economic development and utilities with our neighbors, West Palm Beach and Riviera Beach. Speaking of utilities, we have been successful this year in expanding our system with a major sewage project, bringing a better day for our citizens and our environment. We have ambitious goals for beautification, improving social conditions, and generating jobs for our residents. We are working with West Palm Beach and the Palm Beach County to improve transportation, recreation, and library services. Throughout COVID-19, we have now upgraded our council chambers with Zoom and YouTube capabilities. And in an effort to decrease the anxieties in our community, not only did we hold with the health department, we held our testing on June the 5th, but we also did a prayer walk. And this is what our communities need: prayer, praying for peace and praying for justice. So let us continue to lift up our voice to our God, preparing our future with the best that we can for our communities. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sarita. So great to see you this morning. Next up, we have from the village of North Palm Beach, the new mayor, Susan Bickle.
Thank you and good morning. I did want to mention that this morning after this at 10 o'clock, we have the dedication of a Gold Star Bridge in North Palm Beach. It is the bridge, it used to be called the Burnt bridge leading from MacArthur past Singer Island. So if anybody has interest in supporting our Gold Star families, it's dedicated to the memory of Army Captain Joseph Berkson. Mostly what I'll be talking about today is what's going on US 1 in North Palm, which is very exciting. We have some projects that have been completed, some that are upcoming, and some that we're considering. And I want to give you an update on all of those. The first one is our most obvious one, which is our country club. Well, we have our new building, our $19 million facility, which is housing Farmer's Table, which if you have not eaten at yet, I would highly recommend. It's a nice combination of healthy but yummy. So it's good for you, but it doesn't taste like just plain old bean sprouts, which is kind of nice. We have 2 bars there. There's a pavilion area. There's a grill room. There's also a banquet facility that serves up to 200 people and is catered by Farmer's Table as well. Our country club is also known in history for its pool, and we finally spent some money on that. We did about $1.5 million renovating our pool. We have new pumps. We resurfaced. There's a new pool deck. There's diving boards, new restrooms. If anybody's ever in the old restrooms, you know that we desperately needed them. New lockers and shower stalls. It's also home of North Palm Beach Swimming, which has been a staple in our community for many, many years. And I think I'm comfortable in saying it is the only program in our area that has produced an Olympic gold medalist. But in addition to that, what it has provided for our community is a route to college. So we have students who've swam at North Palm at all 5 military academies, every Ivy League school, but just as importantly, if not more so, at a lot of community colleges. So it's an avenue for students who perhaps couldn't have afforded college in a different way or hadn't yet found their academic voice to move forward. So that's a little plug for our swim program. I gotta flip the page. We've also added a splash pad, which is pretty exciting, and which is open. You do have to make a reservation, but you can take your little ones there and splash around in the pool. It's something different to do in a time of COVID. We also offer private rentals, so if you have a need for the country club pool for any reason, we're happy to do you. We also have a food service, which is the Snack Shack, which services the pool, but it also services the 9th hole of the golf course. So as you probably know, those of you who play golf, which seems to be very popular, we also did a $1.7 million restoration of the Jack Nicklaus Signature Golf Course. Although I don't play, I understand it's lovely. We've run several awards, and people seem to really enjoy it, so I'm glad for that. I think it's really nice that we can get the feeling of a country club while playing at a municipal course. I think that's an amazing thing, and I think North Palm is lucky to have such facilities. A wonderful restaurant, a brand new renovated Olympic-sized pool, which is pretty rare, and the golf course. So in addition on US 1, the other thing that we've been working on, so those are our projects that have happened. The one that we're currently in the process of is our commercial code. So we're redeveloping our commercial code or revamping it to encourage investment on North Lake Boulevard. Not North Lake, excuse me. On US 1 to North Lake Boulevard. I don't want anybody to be confused. But there's some highlights that I think the business community would be interested in. The first is that we're providing for 24 dwelling units per acre with a possibility of up to 36 if you provide some workforce housing. We're allowing 4- and 5-story buildings, depending on some other requirements. There's no floor area ratio restriction, and there are generous build-to setbacks. And we've reduced the parking requirements. This should be approved either later this week or early in October, and will be effective in early November. And it's a pretty exciting opportunity for redevelopment in North Palm if that's something that you are looking at. As a matter of fact, we already have one in progress. It'll be a mixed-use development across the street from the country club, and will actually be worked with Farmer's Table. And we're looking at 185 units there with a combination of office, live, work, and food retail like coffee shops. Those of you in North Palm regularly know we have no good coffee shops. So I know that sounds small, but it's about time. The other thing we're looking at is the old Twin City Mall site, and that we're doing in conjunction with Lake Park because it's kind of subdivided between Lake Park and us. So those are things that we're going to be looking at. The future project that I wanted to talk to you about today was the US 1 lane repurposing, which has been a little controversial in our community, but is something that we're taking a look at. We're looking at reducing US 1 from 6 to 4 lanes from North Anchorage to South Anchorage. So it's about 9/10 of a mile. The purpose of that is to create more walkability, to provide more opportunities for things like sidewalk cafes and street cafes, and to do some separate travel lanes from the businesses to slow people down a little bit. In reality, what we'd like to do is reclaim this section for residents and new businesses. As I said, this is a little controversial. I don't know what will happen. The big contention, of course, has been traffic. which it would increase our traffic studies show about 13 seconds per trip, which, you know, is, I guess, a big deal or not a big deal, depending on how you feel. Thank you very much for your time. We do have a number of exciting things happen in North Palm, and I hope you'll come visit us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor Susan. Appreciate your time. Next up, from the City of Palm Beach Gardens, we have Mayor Carl Woods.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. First, I'd like to make sure I recognize my fellow council members who I'm sure are Zooming somewhere. Chelsea, thank you for showing up. And I know our city staff is somewhere Zooming as well. So since this is about, hi guys. So since this is about current events on what's going on in the city, I'd like to take another second to recognize Vice Mayor, former council member, former mayor, chair of the Transportation Board, former Woman of the Year, and my friend Maria Marino. If there's any other titles I missed, let me know. But the most important one is now Commissioner-elect. We're so proud of you, Maria, for a well-run campaign. We look forward to your beginning and new challenging adventure as our Palm Beach County Commissioner. As I've said it before, you are the woman for the job. And if you didn't know, I was runner-up for Woman of the Year, so you barely sneaked that one by me. So here we go. I'm kind of going to give a speed State of the City address, so if you will bear with me. I wrote down a lot as opposed to Mayor Dan. We have a lot going on in the gardens, and it's exciting. So 5 minutes is barely enough to scratch the surface of all we have going on, but I'm trying to take you through as much as I can in this speed round. Oh, hold on. Oh, sorry, I got 5 pages. Anyway, our Cressy Sports Complex, that's our sports complex where our professional ball players come for therapy off-season. It's a public-private partnership. It's done. Here's who's been playing there and taking therapy there. Cy Young Award winner Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, Corey Kubler, Giancarlo Stanton, just to name a few. These are Major League Baseball MVPs and World Series winner. Also, Noah Syndergaard. Those are tough names to announce on a Wednesday morning. Another private-public opportunity is our Miracle League of Palm Beach County fields. That's done. This is where our handicapped children come to play baseball. Very important to the community outside of Palm Beach Gardens as well, and it's very much abroad, and these children really look forward to come and play on our fields. We look forward to many inspiring games and can't wait to the public see our art feature that will be put there soon. We are also encouraging our professional ball players to be a part of this program and to be inspiring to the children who are so important to our families. This field is literally steps away from the Cressy's front door. As we all know, in 2016, Palm Beach County voters passed a penny sales tax. Palm Beach Gardens, with the grant, started our projects right away and did project management in-house. I'm proud to say that in 3 years, we have completed 5 major projects at over $33 million. The Operations Center, City Hall renovations and expansion, Police Department expansion, baseball expansion I mentioned, and our pride and joy, the North County District Park off of Central Boulevard. Our tennis center, which is also out there, it's a pickleball center clubhouse, which was not a part of our penny tax project, but it's also complete. We're having the ribbon cutting ceremony very soon. The expansion of this clubhouse costs $5,229,680, and we also spent $250,000 on expanding 20 hydro courts. If you don't know what a hydro court is, I guess it's something about monitoring the amount of moisture in the clay courts. I don't play tennis. So I'd like to give a large shout out to Charlotte Przinski. She's our Leisure Services Administrator and magician on this and many other projects. Anyway, it's like no other public facility in the country. We can't wait to fill it with tennis matches and other social events. All right, let's move on from buildings and talk about our continued impact to the community. Preservation is very important. We've worked hard to get to 51% of our city's land area being conserved. Sorry, I'm not sick. That remains a top priority for the community, staff, and our council. FPL, they're building their high-tech headquarters here. A great example of how technology and business will lead to a stable tax base by creating jobs. If If you guys don't know where that is, it's right on Military Trail, just by the I-95 overpass. You can't miss it. It's a large piece of land that's been cleared. Costco, it's on North Lake Boulevard. It's expanded with a 24 fuel pump station. It's now open, and the 20,000 square foot expansion project to the main building is set to start in January. It's difficult to discuss the developments and projects without images, so I'll just say many of the development projects are continuing as planned. Currently, we have 26 other projects under construction. 14 more have been approved, and another 15 are under review by our planning and zoning. More hotels construction is underway to fill that need and accommodate our visitors. Our city council this week will hold our second public hearing for the fiscal 21 budget. That's Thursday. The budget maintains Garden's high level of expectations for public safety and our continued recreational opportunities. It remains to be seen, but I'm confident our millage rate will remain 5.5% via a drop box at City Hall. We never missed a beat. End of March to mid-July, we issued 2,883 building permits totaling $3,217,000, $499.04 exactly. These are projects moving forward. In closing, I'd like to thank our leadership and our business community. Noel, thank you for being yourself. We love watching you. I think it's awesome that you're in this position you're in. And many of the leaders in this room, my fellow mayors and the fellow council members that take the time to run for city council at a minimum. It's time like these that test the strength of our connections, and I'm proud we all have accomplished this thing together. Thank you very much, and have a great Wednesday.
Thank you, Mayor Woods. Appreciate all you do for us. A lot of great things going on in Palm Beach Gardens. Next up, from the town of Palm Beach Shores, we have Mr. Mayor Alan Fires.
Yeah, hi. I'm new to the club, just like Mayor Bickle, but not exactly new to Palm Beach Shores government. I was commissioner for 6 years back from 2008 to 2014, and before that, on the town planning and zoning board for a significant time. We had a big discussion in Palm Beach Shores during this election. And the discussion and the vision that we put forward was to maintain the shores as really probably from Key Biscayne to Stewart as the last old Florida coastal living town along with Jupiter Inlet Colony. That had a lot to say about development and what direction we went in. We opted to maintain our conservative height profile of 3 stories while facilitating modernization to the maximum extent possible consistent with our vision. And I'm pleased to say that we're making progress in that direction, and we're balancing our budget looking forward without revenue being driven by additional development. And that's our vision for the future. And we're going to do everything we can to maintain that. So when people come back to the shores 10 years from now, it'll be like it was 10 years in the past, just a little more modern. The main event, however, which has consumed literally all of my time, is our undergrounding project. We've undergrounded all of our electrical and communications facilities. I'm pleased to tell you that the FPL portion is all but done. As we speak, crews are taking lines down off of the poles, transformers down, and topping the poles. Comcast is rounding the last lap of a mile run and is within shooting distance of completing their conversion. And the good Lord willing and the creek don't rise, on Monday our commission will approve a contract for AT&T to join the clan and to underground their facilities. And our vision is a year from now, we'll have all of our poles, utility poles, down in the shores. and that we're really proud of. It's been a big project for us, $6 million and counting. And when you come by the shores, I think you'll see the change that has made. Another pet project of mine, which we made some progress on, but not enough, and Ms. Marino, we're going to count on you to help us drive it across the finish line, and that is derelict boats and pirate structures in the lagoon around Peanut Island, the Blue Heron Bridge. It's been littered with derelict boats, along with Commissioner Botel, or Councilwoman Botel from Riviera Beach. We worked with PBSO and our Riviera Beach Police Department to get some of the sunken boats up and out, but there's still structures there that are pirate structures that need to be dealt with, and that's going to take a county ordinance. It's going to take a coalition from North County, particularly with Riviera Beach, the county, Palm Beach Shores, Palm Beach, to come to grips with that. But that's something that will have a positive impact on the entire North County community if we get that sorted out. That runs all the way from Munyon Island down to south of Peanut Island. We're also in advanced discussions with Riviera Beach about replacing our water mains, which will be another big project. I've been talking with your Director of Public Utilities, Jimmy Johnson, and that's underway. We hope that that kicks off. Finally, the Corps of Engineers may, and I repeat may, be repairing and restoring the jetty from what's known as the helicopter pad. That's where basically the beach starts, out to the end of the beach sometime this year. And that will be a major construction project that we'll all watch as you go out the inlet. It's been my pleasure to join the club. I look forward to working with you all, and I thank you for the opportunity to give you an update. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Fires, and we appreciate all you do for the tiny but mighty town of Palm Beach Shores. Thank you so much. Next up, from the city of Riviera Beach, we've got with us today Mayor Ronnie Felder.
Good morning. Well, I'm like you, the new kid on the block. Last year, I want to thank Councilman Doug Lawson for standing in for me. I missed the breakfast. But I'm excited this year to be here. Good morning, fellow city mayors. I am so happy that I can join you all today for this event. As Mayor of Riviera Beach, I want to briefly share with you our recent accomplishments and plans for the future. One of the most important accomplishments involves our response to COVID-19 as a city. Early during the pandemic, we secure opportunities for local residents to receive free testings, partnering with local nonprofits to ensure that our residents would be tested. In addition, our efforts to respond directly to community needs, we organize resources in the following ways. To curb the spread of COVID-19, we began by educating our community to ensure individuals make the right decisions. Food drives were created to ensure all of our individuals will have food. We made sure that our seniors would be taken care of. We had food drives that would go to our local seniors facilities, making sure that they ate. We hired a new police chief, Chief Osgood, who was very adamant in making sure every kid in Riviera Beach was eating on a daily basis. He partnered with local businesses, local restaurants to make sure that would happen. Finally, providing masks to encourage individuals to travel safely through the communities and local businesses. These actions demonstrated my office's commitment to the residents and the community I serve. My commitment as mayor is to provide residents and businesses with both training and resource to combat COVID-19, which we continue to do. Going forward, My efforts as Mayor of Riviera Beach are geared to pursuing redevelopment for the city by updating our many public services. This is what I'm so excited about. The marina, our beautiful waterfront, our efforts will be geared to implementing the following. Working on a $200 million project to redevelop our public services, including everything, our city hall, our police departments, our fire department, our recreation departments, and our libraries. Furthermore, our efforts to revitalize the waterfront are supported by local businesses as we aim to bring, and I'm pushing this, an aquarium to our waterfront, to the Marina Center, along with new restaurants and hotels. These exciting changes will provide an abundance of opportunities for both residents and visitors to enjoy the waterfront that we have to offer. These endeavors, spearheaded by the Mayor's office, seek to develop and rejuvenate Riviera Beach on the rise. While we are proud of our progress, we also understand the need to grow and expand through new and continued partnerships with local businesses. We place our community at the forefront of these decisions to ensure Riviera Beach remains a welcoming place for visitors to call home. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor Felder. We are so excited about all the great things that are happening at Riviera Beach. So thank you so much for being with us this morning. So next up, last but not least, from the village of Tequesta, we have Mayor Abby Brennan.
Thank you. Can you hear me? I need this to be on the counter here. Oh, and please excuse the pirate glasses, as my granddaughter calls them. After dueling with detached retinas in both eyes, this is the only way that I can read. So don't be afraid of me. I'm really okay. And because Tequesta is last in this presentation, I have scripted myself to remain within the 5 minutes. And I have to say, I couldn't see it anyway, you know, when she's flashing up the cards, or at least I'm milking this. So that's the way that's going. So let's begin. Despite all of the uncertainties that COVID-19 has brought upon us, the village is doing everything possible to safely deliver outstanding customer service, community events, and police patrols and medical care. Cognizant of the unfortunate unrest across the country, we know that our police officers are well-trained, fair, and dedicated to the safety to our residents. In fact, Tequesta recently received the distinction of being named the 3rd safest city in the state of Florida with a population over 5,000 residents. Fire rescue personnel are also being housed in 2 separate locations. So should there be one member exposed, we do not have to lose an entire shift to be quarantined. They also recently arranged COVID-19 testing for our residents, which had the best turnout of a pop-up testing site in all of Palm Beach County. In addition, Tequesta's public safety team routinely perform acts of kindness and compassion that go above and beyond their normal duties. Members of the departments are reaching out to help celebrate the birthdays and graduations of children whose parties could not be held this year. Several police cars and fire rescue vehicles with their lights and sirens announcing their arrival will stop at the homes of children to deliver a bag of goodies and to congratulate them. To date, over 60 kids have received a special visit from our public safety team. Parks and recreation events and programs have always been the hub of activities in the village of Tequesta, and today is no different. They have hosted numerous drive-by events, given away tree saplings on Arbor Day, celebrated National Donut Day. Of course, that was co-sponsored by the police. Sorry, Chief, I couldn't let that go. And held a drive-through carnival on the 4th of July. Food trucks from Guanabanas and Chick-fil-A also came to Tequesta. Both events were carefully orchestrated to maintain social distancing by having residents order and pick up food from the safety of their cars. Unfortunately, the much-anticipated Tequesta Fest, Holiday in the Park, and JTAA Holiday Parade have been canceled. So we are taking these events into the neighborhoods with our own parades and other socially distanced activities. In addition to outstanding care and maintenance of our village, the Public Works has forged ahead with sidewalk replacements and roadway enhancements. We are open for business. We are continuing with this work. Our building and land planning departments haven't skipped a beat either. When Village Hall was closed, they made appointments to accept applications and provide plan reviews. They even pioneered virtual inspections wherever it was feasible. And behind the scenes, our administrative, finance, HR, and clerk's office personnel are functioning at full capacity as they rotate staff members between working in the office and working from home. One of the most important amenities in the village is our restaurant, retail, and general business community. As they bear temporary closures and ongoing restrictions, most have stayed strong because of the strong patronage by our local community. And despite the pandemic and slow season, we have a net loss of less than 2%, due in part to the new businesses opening up. A couple of relief efforts Council has authorized during this time was to temporarily relax sign codes and to allow more outdoor restaurant seating, some of which is actually being allowed to go out into the parking lots. Moving forward, we are proceeding as planned with the design and construction of a new 14,000 square foot community center in Constitution Park. Tequesta's water treatment facility is continuing its installation of smart water meters, which allow users to monitor their water consumption on a daily basis from their homes and smart mobile devices. The future replacement of the US 1 drawbridge, as Mayor Todd talked about, over the Intercoastal is an area of deep concern which will affect both vehicular traffic and the business community. So we are monitoring this carefully and working with our business partners to help mitigate the negative effects during this 4-year construction period. We have 3 developments, mixed-use developments moving forward on US 1 and 1 on the beach. But for the most part, as you may know, Tequesta is built out for, other than the redevelopment of our homes and businesses within the village. So I want to thank the Chamber and Noel, audience that are here today watching online, for allowing me to tell you a little bit about how we roll in the business of Tequesta.
Great job, Mayor Abby. Thank you so much. So let's give our mayors one more big round of applause. So this is all the time that we have for today. So please visit each municipality's website for more information. I want to thank our mayors for being with us here this morning. We know you are extremely busy and have a ton going on, but we thank you for everything you do for our community. We are so proud of the engagement we get from our municipalities, and you guys are a big reason for that, so thank you so much. On behalf of the Chamber's Board of Directors, thank you once again to today's sponsors, Chamber members, and guests. Our region will continue to thrive because of your meaningful engagement in our communities and collaborative efforts to keep Palm Beach North Florida's Prosperity's Coast. Have a great day, stay healthy, and for those of you at home, don't forget to log on to the virtual networking event. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.